What time is it? What time is it there? What time is it there, room?
It's about 11 at night time.
It's 7 in the morning here. We're in the dojo because of you.
Yeah, well, it's usually me who has to get up super early for these feckin' podcasts. So
yeah, but you're the junior one. We're the senior ones. That's how it works. Bite him when you talk.
Okay, I understand. Well, we're here now.
Where are you? What have you been up to?
I'm in San Diego in California. Last time I was talking to you guys, I was in Texas. And by the way, Texas kind of sucks. I don't care who hears it.
Not really? I like Austin.
Joe Rogan would beg to differ.
Texas
is the best place in the world.
It's okay, but like I'd just been in New Orleans and I had an amazing time in New Orleans, and then I got to where was I? Austin. And yeah, it was a cool place. Like the nightlife was incredible, but like I didn't really get to sample it because I was trying to pinch the pennies, you know?
Okay. I don't think America's great to be for anywhere, right?
Well, I don't know exactly. We'll get onto that later. I've got a story about that as well.
If you're going to be poor, like you go to Scotland, but only because it's so naturally beautiful. You don't need the money. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. You can survive on
Greg's sausage roll, fucking £1.20. Nice.
Open 24 hours a day in the central Glasgow.
So yeah, I was knackered from New Orleans. I did loads of, because the parks were so beautiful and swampy and like nice. I did loads of training when I was in New Orleans. I was training every day down the park, and also I was drinking every night. So I was knackered. So I got to
saving the pennies that much then. Oh, that was in New Orleans.
Oh no. Yeah, New Orleans. There was a student bar that the hostel staff took us to where the pints were only $2.
Oh.
Very impressive.
So that's what I was doing in New Orleans. And then I got to Texas and I was just a bit knackered. So I decided to just save my money and sleep the days away. And it was a lovely, lovely rest. I had a great time.
Did you do any karate in Texas?
No karate in Texas, no karate in New Orleans, no karate in Nashville.
Let's rewind a little bit there. So, first of all, I'm an arsehole and an idiot. I was so...
All the viewers know this. All of them. All 5 of them.
I was so sleep deprived and caffeine deprived the last time we talked that I glossed over Nashville going like, I don't think I did any karate in Nashville. When in fact, okay, so I'm stupid. Let's move on with the story. I got to Nashville and I was hosted by none other than Natalia Sensei from HDKI, Tennessee, and her beautiful dojo and her beautiful group of people. And I taught 2 classes. I did the kids and then I did the adults class. And then we all went out for an amazing seafood dinner. And Natalia was so cool. And her daughter, so cool and so good at karate, by the way. And all her group were just so lovely. And I'm astounded at myself for forgetting to mention all of that on our previous podcast, but I really should have, because Natalia Sensei...
Such a awesome man.
There's no question in my mind that what you've just said there is absolutely true, because Natalia's lovely and all her students are great. But it just sounds so insincere because you forgot it last time. You're like, it was the best experience of the whole trip. I forgot to tell you. But
when I heard that you forgot to mention that, I was like, that's the most rude fucking thing I have ever heard.
Listen,
Most rude
for,
thing ever.
And that's why we're checking in on you. We're not actually doing this. We're not sending it out to the YouTube. We're just checking in, like like we have done for the last 5 years.
listen, for all you people out there who are still like humming and hawing over, does Rue have ADHD? Like, even
No,
if I
he's
do
just
or
a-
not,
He's just a
I'm a
wanker.
fucking idiot. Yeah, just a bollocks. Natalia Sensei is awesome. I really, really enjoyed meeting her and spending time with her and talking to her. She's super. She's got, I think, a couple of PhDs. I think she's got 5 or 6 or 7 PhDs.
She hasn't got
You know,
7 PhDs.
but,
No one has 7
listen,
PhDs.
you relax. Just relax there. Just because you've got no PhD, you can't be.
I'm waiting for my honorary PhD from Kiel University. Come on, Kiel, get to it.
You do not have. Oh, you're waiting for it. Okay, yeah. But she's great, and yeah, super. There was a guy there called.
Oh,
No,
we've lost audio.
You've gone.
Oh, we've lost.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
jeez.
No,
We've lost
Do you want to?
no.
Oh.
Do you
Yeah,
want
go on,
to?
talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably better that way anyway, with you dropping in and out.
Keep them on their toes. So there was one of her black belts. There is a guy, a lovely fella. He's like a disaster responder guy, and he said I can come back anytime, and he's going to put me up, and I'm going to teach at the dojo again.
Not anymore.
It's a disaster.
Not anymore.
Is it because you're a disaster? Is that why he said that?
That's why he responded. Yeah. Nobody's like, I was like, what's your job? And he was like, well, if there's an earthquake, a fire, a tsunami, a fucking this or that, he's ready for all of that. He knows exactly.
So is it mostly him?
He's a superhero.
Is it mostly him just sat around drinking tea with the occasional, oh, fuck, I've got to go? Is it like that kind of job?
Yeah,
Once every 6 months?
He trains people for that, oh, fuck, I got to go moment as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway, so that was Nashville. Nashville was wonderful, and it felt so good to be, part of the HDKI and meeting other HDKI dojos. And listen, I see you shaking your heads there. I'm trying to be sincere.
It's awesome to come across that way. Yeah,
it's all in context. I'm gonna edit this in with like just slice it with you going the last clip going, yeah, I didn't do anything in Nashville, and then this is sliced in going, yeah, it was the best, so wonderful thing about HDKI.
But it was. I'm just a bollocks. And anyway, I'm done admitting that now. All right, it's done.
Okay, moving on. So what have you been doing after Texas? After boring Texas?
All right. Okay.
Sorry,
boring.
we have no HDKI in Texas, so you can slag them.
Yeah. Can I just say, fuck Texas? All right, fuck that place. Anyway, let's move on. I took. Oh no! I had a great time in Texas. Actually, I had one.
I met Joe Rogan and maybe do a Spitfire 5 on his stand-up show.
Could you imagine?
Not able to do Hugh Gary properly.
God, no, that'd be fantasy.
I went to see my favorite band, the Mountain Goats, in Dallas, Texas, and it was an incredible night. But the crowd, let me just say, I know this has nothing to do with karate, but everybody, all touring bands, they always say it. Ireland has the best crowds. And now that I've been to a concert in America, I know what they're talking about. They're a bunch of nerds. There's no hooting and hollering. There's hardly any shouting and requesting. Hardly any dancing. I went into the place. Huge venue, beautiful venue called the Longhorn Ballroom. I went in with straight back and the bendy legs, marching into the place. And there was a huge queue after I went in for the merchandise stand. No one at the bar.
There was no queue at the bar, there was just queue at the merchandise stand.
Exactly.
Well, that says it all, doesn't it? That says it all.
Yep. They were queuing up to buy the vinyl, the latest vinyl. So I threw the elbow up at the bar. And I was chatting to the ladies. And this is how you getting on. I'm from Ireland. Why am I the only one pinting? Anyway, that was that. Good night. Anyway, I got out of Dallas and I flew to Seattle and I got picked up by my friend Zach. He and I met when we used to sing in choir together. He's a former US Marine and nowadays he is a stained glass artist.
Were you going to say nerd then? And then he said US Marine. No. You were like, nerd, US Marine. Oh, very good. He was in quiet. Nerd, I'm your Marine. Oh, yeah. And now stained glass windows. Nerd. Is he a big nerd?
Yeah. He's a big nerd. He's a big nerd of a former U.S. Marine. Oh no, physically he'd bet you. Oh gosh, he'd bet you. No, he's very strong.
It's crazy.
But Zach is a great old. It was like no time had passed at all. Hadn't seen the guy in about 8 years, and we started out. Anyway, he lives way out in the country on the Olympic Peninsula. So I was up in his garden in the mornings training Tabata tubes. But there was no dojos nearby or anything. But we did loads of like beach walks, and I climbed a mountain one of the days. I nearly met a bear.
Oh, nearly wouldn't build a ship. What was it? Nearly wouldn't build a cow.
Hey, you're learning. Nearly never built a cow, but I did see a bear shite.
Oh, okay. We've all seen scat. It's called scat.
Yes, I saw a bear scat. So I was climbing
We've all
this
been
mountain.
hiking in the woods in America.
Near enough the summit, there was this lovely viewing area. So I stopped at the viewing area for a while, and I still had loads of time. So then I went up to actually get to the actual summit, and I saw a shite about the size of, like, picture in your mind, you know the way a cat goes to sleep in the sun and curls up in the sun.
Are we actually talking about the size of bear crab?
Yeah. Now, in your mind,
about karate adventures.
Now,
go on, carry on.
Now, in your mind, turn that curled up cat into a pile of shite.
Jeez.
And that's the size of a pile of shite. Yeah. Thank you, Ross. Right.
Anyway, we don't have time for Steve Ubl, so I guess we'll have to call it a day.
It's like the jerk, you know, when it's like, shit, oh, but he still walks in it after that.
So I never reached the summit, went back down. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Then I took a 22-hour train to San Francisco.
What was it? Like, so I want to, because you can get a train. Now you're talking about something I'm interested in. So you can get a train from Chicago over to Seattle, and then right the way down to San Diego.
I don't know if you can, because I was in Dallas. I was in Dallas when I went to Seattle. I got a flight from Dallas to Seattle.
I know, but you got a train from Seattle down to San Diego, right?
San Francisco.
You just said a train. San Francisco, yeah.
Yes.
So, but there is a sleeper train that goes all the way along the border from Chicago right the way through to Seattle, then down to San Diego. That I want to do. Oh. Did you have a sleeper, or did you just? I bet you paid for the cheap seat.
The sleeper was $1,000.
Jesus Christ!
I know. I got my seat for $120. Also, not that cheap.
Not that cheap, no.
Yeah, $120, 22 fucking hours. I made a friend on the train. Yeah, made a friend on the train. Woman sitting next to me. Her name was Sarah, but she was like a sound engineer / musician / songwriter. So she was having herself a wee panic attack on the train, and we ended up having a lovely chat, and we made friends. And anyway, but man, I never slept on the train. It was a disaster. Got to San Diego, went straight to the airport, and picked up wee Sarah.
Yeah,
my own Sarah. And I didn't do any fucking training in San Diego. I didn't visit John Keeling. Didn't fucking do
San
the
Francisco.
You're talking about San Francisco.
Huh?
We're still in San Francisco, yeah?
John Keeling lives in San Francisco. You said you didn't do any training in San Diego.
Oh, sorry. I didn't do any training in San Francisco.
Okay.
I didn't visit. It's so confusing. It's fucking all these. Anyway, didn't do any training in San Francisco. Didn't visit John Keeling. Sarah and I were just having a wonderful time hanging out with my Auntie Mary. I visited the Mrs. Doubtfire house.
Oh, did you? Did you see the big bridge from X-Men?
The Golden Gate Bridge?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you got to go.
You gotta go.
You got to
Okay.
go. You got to go. No.
No.
2-1, hello.
Viewing.
Oh,
Is that better?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Can you just buy a decent? I mean, like for a musician, surely you've got some Bose headphones or some like I don't know AirPods or
Yeah, but I lost them.
Oh,
I can't have
new
nice
ones rather than
things.
well, that's true. But buy some new cheap ones so that it works at least for the next podcast.
Well, these ones were $9.
Oh well.
I'll go for the $20 job
Golden
next
Gate
time.
Bridge, saw that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, walked over the Golden Gate Bridge, walked back again. Then Sarah and I went on a sunset cruise, and we cruised all through the bay and under the bridge and out again. And we visited Alcatraz, and we saw the Mrs. Doubtfire house. Amazing time. Loved San Diego. I loved San Francisco. Great place.
Fantastic.
Then we tipped on down to San Diego.
Nothing
And-
happened there. But moving on to the next
No,
place.
no karate in San Diego. No, nothing. No. So this is the meat of the podcast.
Okay. Before we start that,
Yeah.
I am going to
Jesus, you've been very quick with it.
fill this up. Okay.
Go on.
Okay.
The
So
meat of the podcast. Here we go.
All right, the meat of the podcast. Yeah. So we arrived in San Diego on a Monday, and then I had my first training session with Steve Sensei on Tuesday evening, and I turned up. Sensei, you're going to kill me. 20 minutes late.
late with only Adobe top.
How late?
20 minutes late.
Oh, Jeff.
The buses were late. There was traffic. The class was at 5 o'clock. I don't know. It's like early rush hour traffic or something. Anyway, I was like fucking prostrated bowing as I went in the door, and I'm like, I'm so fucking sorry. Please don't kill me. They didn't give a shite. They couldn't give a flying fuck. They were like, "Oh yeah, we forgot you were coming." I know, not really. They never said they never said that, but they couldn't give a shite. Anyway, we trained for nearly 3 hours, and Steve's usual guys were there. There was a fella called Bao, a lady called Beth, and Wayne obviously was there. Wayne Sensei and Steve Sensei, and it was kind of a situation which at first made me a little bit uncomfortable. It was just like, what do you want to work on? And Wayne had said, be prepared for that question. So I said, what did I say again? Oh, I said like, hip and hand timing. And then maybe a rousing round of gyakuzukis. So that was just the first thing I said. I had some other ideas, but we ended up spending an hour and a half on that. And then in the middle of it, just through discussion, I asked him about a bit of Basai Dai. I can't remember what bit, but then we ended up going through Basai Dai, and there was another hour and a half spent on that. And next thing, 3 hours had gone by. And we were all ready to go home. It was like past 8 o'clock in the evening. I couldn't believe it. Like the time had flown by. And I just couldn't believe that I had walked in late. And then it's not like he had ignored the other guys. They just they were doing their own thing over in another section of the floor. And he was 100% focused on me. And he was so patient and so gracious and so generous with his time. And it feels like a stupidly over the top privilege. Like I can't believe it. And that was only the first day. That was only the first day. Right? So I go again. That was Tuesday. I go again on Thursday. Same thing. Sarah came along and she witnessed her first karate class. And so we'd been talking about footwork and like alignment. Like my alignment, by the way, terrible. It's no wonder I have a dodgy knee. I'm like always like kind of like not bow-legged. What's the opposite of bow-legged? The knees are buckling in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's no wonder like I'm struggling with all my ligaments and tendons in my knees because he's like, wow, your alignment is way off. So So I was thinking of footwork and having the toes and everything aligned and changes in direction. So I said, "Can we do a bit of gin?" And he said, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay." He heard. He said, "What do you want to work on?" I said, "Gin." And he said, "I think we should do a hand shot." So
Gross.
I was fucking put in my place so quick, but I appreciated it so much. So we did Heian Showdown. And then we actually did a bit of gin at the end of class, but I was like, okay, I knew what the crack was then. We did it, and again, it was just like, I might as well have been the only person there, not, and that's just a testament to how generous he was being with his attention. Oh, by the way, he never suited up. He was in his jeans and his polo shirt, just rocking around the dojo, just doing it Steve style. Doesn't give a fuck. I love it. So, and he was like, just like sitting on his chair watching. Again, no, meh. That kind of thing. And the
Brilliant.
next day I came in. So yeah, that was Thursday. Friday, I brought Sarah to the airport, and Sarah flew home.
Oh. Yeah, we tear, did you?
He was floods of tears.
Oh no, we can't hear him. We can't hear him anymore. Move your thing a bit.
You can't. Well, Jesus.
Can't hear him.
No.
Oh.
No. Oh.
221. 221.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that microphone is kind of emotionally connected to you. Every time you get upset, it switches off.
It's protecting me from exposing myself.
Like you, it's up and down and unpredictable.
So yeah, poor wee Sarah flew home, and there was tears and all of that. But we're going to meet again soon in March. But I went along on Friday. So usually they train Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. But they were like, Wayne and Steve were both like, "Come down anytime, we'll be here." So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, right? No, today's Tuesday. No, today's Wednesday.
Yeah. No, well, it's
Tuesday for you, Wednesday for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Tuesday night.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I've just done 4 days in a row, 3-hour fucking sessions. I'm practically the only one in the dojo. We were one-on-one on Saturday. There was Wayne's usually there, and whoever else is there. Bao is there sometimes. Bao is great. Wayne is great. I love these guys. Beth is lovely. They're all great. We're just going through everything. We did every Heian Kata. We did Teki Shodan. Today we did a bit of MP. Basically, I'm just going in with kata. I'm saying, we spent like an hour on.
Okay, I have to spar him. He says to me, move around a little bit, do about kumite, and then touch him where we yak and like when you ask him and see what happens. The microphone's protective mode. It's like, no.
Actually,
Could you imagine? But we spent a little time on Yokogara Kiyagi, which was great as well. And man, I feel like I'm learning so much. And it's not that everything I've been doing so far is.
What you told other people. What you said to other people was that you felt like you had to relearn so much.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
That did not go down well in the morning.
So, like, if you learn something, it means that you had a very good foundation and you're building upon it. If you relearn it, it means that the foundation you had to destroy because it was so bad.
Well, I didn't
so
know
which
you wanted
is it, Rue? Which is it?
I didn't know you wanted to go there on the podcast, but okay. According to Steve Sensei.
Oh, go on.
According to Steve Sensei, there's a lot of stuff I'm doing, which is fundamentally flawed.
Such as?
He said, I have my Zenkutsu Dutch and most of my stances have Zenkutsu Dutch has way too much emphasis on inner thigh muscle squeeze and not enough emphasis on like glute drive. And it's like what else? My stances are too long and my toes aren't in line with my knees when I'm in Zenkutsu Dutch, and it's also going to cause knee and hip injuries, according to Steve and all the research he's done. What else? And then just like basic techniques, like say like in Basai Dai, Chokazuki Uchuke, Chokazuki Uchuke. Like just the trajectory of my limbs of my arms was all wrong, and my shuto ukes are too long, and I'm too much hamni. I'm not, it should be a 45-degree angle in the hips, and my back knee buckles when I'm in kokutsu.
Well, I didn't teach you to do that.
No. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that that I've been taught a whole load of stuff wrong. It's just I've got an awful lot of bad habits. Oh, sensei, don't be.
When you say relearn, that's exactly what that means.
Listen,
I'm
Steve's
sorry.
been ripping you apart to be saying that Scott doesn't know what the fuck he's on about. Fucking look at the states here. Sort out of that. No. Can't even take a so that's proper.
Did Scott teach you how to make that wobbly back knee? Is that why he taught you? Didn't.
Listen, we're just going back to basics. Me and Steve, we're just going back to basics.
Me and Steve.
Me and Steve. Oh yeah. Also, by the way, first name basis. There's no sensei crap. This is Steve. How are you, Steve? Hey, Steve. When you do a Kiyagi?
I have never ever called him anything other than Steve Sensei. You make sure you do the same.
When
Pay the
everybody
respect
else,
to the man deserves.
100%. On Saturday when we was just he and I in the dojo, he was like, stop, just call me Steve.
And did you?
Yeah, he asked me to.
It's all right.
Well, he's been asked, like he says that to everyone. And I always say, okay, he says, call me Steve. And I was like, okay, Steve, Sensei.
And he goes, what a little prick.
He likes me. That's why he's taking you on board, the hopeless wonder from fucking Dublin.
He's been so gracious and so generous with all his time, and he's telling me loads of stories, and he's shown me so much stuff that, by the way, I'm not going to tell you about.
So, Rue, I asked you last time and you were like, don't talk to me about this too early in the morning. Early in the morning for us, there must have been a couple of light bulbs like that are like, holy shit, this has got to be fundamentally crowbarred into my karate now in order to progress. What is the big takeaway so far?
So I'm fairly inflexible. And mentally, says Sensei. Yeah. So far, I feel like I've been trying to learn a flexible man's karate. And I think, Steve Sensei is also very flexible. But I think by taking things back to basics, I can learn to do things in a way which suit my body a lot better. When I move a lot less and a lot more efficiently, and finding the balance between what I'm learning now in San Diego and what I've learned at the Hombu Dojo, I think will help me an awful lot.
Nice. That's a good takeaway.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
At the emphasis.
If only there was someone else out there who taught kind of like karate from an inflexible body that you could learn from on the trip.
Yeah, would be quite nice to have an input of someone else.
Yeah, never mind.
Not very flexible.
Okay, moving on. So how long you got left in San Diego?
13 days. 13 days.
Oh,
that's great, man. Are you training that much? That's
like every
so jealous.
day.
I'm
3-hour
so
sessions.
jealous.
When the other lads are there, we kind of quit after 2 hours. But like, if it's just me and Wayne, or if it's just me and Steve Sensei, it's like he doesn't give a crap. He's just like, he just keeps going, and he's like, "Do you want to work on anything else?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And the only reason we stop after 3 hours is because I'm overloaded. I'm knackered. Because he's not doing anything. He's sitting by and going like, no. Every now and again, he jumps up and he springs into action and like punches me in the face. And it's like, you wouldn't. You just got to be there. And then bam. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, I get it.
Did he hit you a good one yet?
Yeah. He hit me a good schmack in the eye. There was no black eye, so it can't have been that bad. But there was a nice sound off it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Brilliant.
And Bao, he's one of his longtime students. He's been training with him since 2007. Just this evening, he took me home to his place and fed me spaghetti and met his family and his dog. So yeah, everything's going great.
That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant, man. Yeah. I'm so happy for you at the same time, but fucking so jealous, but
it's wonderful. Like his eye for detail is just incredible, and the way he you could say he's absolutist, but what he always says is he's done his research and he's done it fucking thoroughly. Like he can't argue. And he really believes everybody ought to be out there doing their own research and not passing off his ideas as their own, and also not just copying. He doesn't want people just copying what he does just because he says it. He's like, none of this is my opinion. This is all backed up by research. So I think that's something I'm going to try and start doing. Reading.
Yeah. I mean, he's a human microscope. That's what he is.
Yep.
He sees things in such minute detail that it kind of takes it to a level that very few people can even understand, let alone kind of, have any sort of level of input to. So, yeah.
Yeah. And he immediately puts everything in the context of not only his scientific research, but also he remembers everything he learned from Nakayama.
Well, he took copious notes. That's why. Yeah. So he has it all kind of like recordings. I think from when he did the instructor's course with Nishiyama, and he just put the tape recorder on and has all those recordings that I think he transcribed, and then just loads of notes after every class from Nakayama Sensei for the decade that he trained with him.
Are you recording anything?
I'm moving around after every. It doesn't do me any good to take notes. After every session, I go over the kata that we practiced, and I just remember. I remember through my body like what we worked on. I'll do a move, and then I'll be like, oh no, wait, I have to move this bit, move that bit, pull the shoulder down, whatever. So I'm revising physically.
Are you actually, but as a recording, like videoing the classes?
Oh no. No.
So he'd let you?
I just don't think my phone.
He always used to, or still does. I think he
maybe worth just throwing it to him, saying, "Would you mind if I start recording these?"
Well, he filmed me doing one bit. He filmed me doing one bit so he could show me how bad I was doing it.
Can we just put that now and then have it?
It was in Heian Shodan.
It was a wee Zuki, a wee turn.
It was the third. It was the third shuto. So the
third shuto.
The third shuto. That one, yeah. I was getting tangled up in my legs.
Really?
Yeah. Cool.
But he showed me. He's well. By the way, he's well able to say no. Like he's being so generous and everything, and he's showing up every day. He's like, "Oh, if you want to come down, I'll be here. I'll make time." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, tomorrow again, same time. Let's go." But one time
he must be enjoying himself then.
Well, today, and I don't know if it's just my kind of like insecurity or feeling like an imposter or but every now and then I'm like, oh, he wishes I would just wrap it up, or like he wishes I'd fuck off or something. But I don't know, whatever. As long as he's willing to show up, I'm going to keep showing up.
To be fair, I don't think Steve Sensei has ever either verbally or mentally said fuck in his life. He's never said it, never thought it, ever. Maybe a gosh.
Sure, if he's just made a nice dinner and he fucking stubbed his toe. Oh, fuck!
Do you think he's ever stubbed his toe?
The table leg just snaps in half. He's like, oh.
Steve Sensei prepares his dinner, holds it with one hand, and makes a deep kibadachi and eats it with the other without ever moving away from the cooker.
He told me he eats in the splits. He showed me. He got down on the mat. He pulled himself out into the splits in his Levi's. And it's just like, I sit like this. I lean forward a little bit. I ate my dinner.
Cool.
But one time he showed me a folder of some documents he had from his time doing the instructor's course with Nishiyama, and I said, "Oh, Sensei, can I take a picture of this?" And he went, "No." So he's well able to say no if he wants to.
Well, cool. So you've got another 13 days.
I've got another 13 days here. Yeah, Thanksgiving is the day after tomorrow. So we're not training then, but training tomorrow at 5.
Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Mm.
Are you doing anything for Thanksgiving?
Yeah. There's a Thanksgiving dinner here in the hostel.
Oh,
I love it.
Have a good time.
Yeah. I am I'm now a volunteer at this hostel. I'm working here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, made friends with all the staff, and I convinced them to hire me on, so I don't have to pay for accommodation for the next 13 days. So I've got a 5-hour cleaning shift 5 days a week, and that way I get to stay.
Nice one.
Finding a way, Ru. So 13 days, and then what do you do after that?
I'm flying to Cancun for 2 days, just because it was a cheap flight. And then from Cancun, I'm flying to Mexico City, and I'm going to visit HDKI Mexico with Ricardo Sensei. Yeah. And I can't wait
all
to
that
see Ricardo
slower will go out the window and be like, no, jump, flip.
Don't
worry about your feet. A gazelle.
It'll be all point scoring shit all over again. Fuck it. So going to have a great time in Mexico City.
You're teaching a seminar, yeah? You're teaching a seminar.
He mentioned that it's not. I don't think it's confirmed, but he asked
Ricardo Sensei sent me a message saying, I'm just kind of promoting the seminar with Ru, and do you have any good photographs of him? And I was like, he's left. He's no longer under my employment. I am not kind of like, oh yeah, here we go, and sent him loads of photographs. I was like, still, he's like 6,000 miles away. So anyway, he has loads of good photographs of you to promote you. Yeah, he's gone again.
Yeah, he's gone. He's like,
one, two. I sent them to him. Anyway.
Not before I did. You're welcome. Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you, Sensei.
So you're the mid-December, are you?
Yeah, from like 7th to the 13th of December. So that's like the dates that I'm there. And then I'm going to Peru. I'm going abroad in the jungle for a month. And then I'm going to I emailed HDKI Argentina. They haven't got back to me yet, so we'll just see what happens there. And then I'm going to Felipe Sensei, KWF Brazil.
So we should talk to you after. We should talk to you at the end of your Mexico trip, then. Yeah.
No, I can't hear you.
We're getting emotional because you're leaving. Can you hear us? No. So we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you at the end of your Mexico trip, then, shall we?
Perfect.
And we'll get all the low down.
1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Just closer to your mouth so we can hear you. It's such a naff technology. Yeah. So.
Okay, sounds great.
Right.
Yeah. So have a good time, Ro.
Thanks.
Enjoy yourself, man.
Okay.
Bye.